सो हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक वंस अगेन टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। और इस वीडियो में इससे पहले कि मैं मेन वीडियो स्टार्ट करूं, मैं आपके साथ कुछ बात शेयर करना चाहता हूं। क्या है ना कि मैं भी कोई बहुत ज़्यादा फ्लुएंट इंग्लिश स्पीकर नहीं हूं। मैं भी अब भी सीख रहा हूं और ये सीखने का जो प्रक्रिया है वो चलते रहेगा। बट मैं तब भी कोशिश करूंगा कि आप लोगों को आज की इस वीडियो में इंग्लिश में मैं सारे कंसेप्ट्स को पढ़ाऊं। लेकिन हाँ, जैसा कि मैंने कहा है, मैं बहुत ज़्यादा फ्लुएंट स्पीकर नहीं हूँ। हाँ, स्पोकन इंग्लिश का काफ़ी नॉलेज मुझे है, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, जितना भी है बट है। बट जब बात आती है उसे बोलने की, जब बात आती है उसे यूज़ करने की डेली लाइफ में, तो मैं भी फंस जाता हूँ, मैं भी रुक जाता हूँ, अटक जाता हूँ। रीज़न इसके पीछे ये है कि सराउंडिंग नहीं मिलता हमें। हम किससे बात करेंगे? स्कूल के डेज़ में क्या होता था ना कि हर कोई इंग्लिश सब्जेक्ट पढ़ता था, और अगर सीबीएसई बोर्ड हो, इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल हो, तो सारे सब्जेक्ट्स इंग्लिश में होते थे, नो डाउट। बट स्कूल में कोई भी नहीं है आपस में इंटरेक्ट करता था इंग्लिश में, तो सराउंडिंग व इन्वायरमेंट कभी मिल नहीं पाया। वही रीज़न है कि जब ग्रामर का बहुत सारा नियम पता होने के बाद भी, स्पोकन इंग्लिश का नेटिव स्पीकर्स के तरीके पता होने के बाद भी, जब बात आती है उसे डेली लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट करने की, तो हम आप हर कोई फंस जाते हैं, वो फ्लुएंसी टूट जाता है। तो उसी डर को, उसी फियर को मैं मिटाने के लिए आज यहाँ पे बैठा हुआ हूँ। और ये चैलेंज है आपका भी और हम सब का भी। हम सब मिलके इसे एक चैलेंज की तरह ले कि हम लोग इस डर को, इस जो हम लोगों का जो रुकावट है, जो बैरियर है फ्लुएंसी में, उसे हम लोग ब्रेक करेंगे। ये आज हम लोग आपस में एक दूसरे के साथ में यहाँ पर हम लोग प्रॉमिस करते हैं। तो ठीक है, बस इतना ही मुझे कहना था। अब मैं वापस से वीडियो में आ जाऊँगा और फिर कोशिश करूँगा कि मैं इंग्लिश में आप लोगों को पढ़ाऊँ। So without wasting even a second, let's get straight to the point. So all the screenshots that you will be seeing in today's video lecture are taken from the very interesting movie, and the name of the movie is Up. So I highly recommend you that if you have not watched this movie, so go and watch this movie. The movie is really very comic. So in the very first screenshot, this person says to the main character that you came here in that. So there you can see there is a floating house in which the main character of the movie, the old man that you will see him in the upcoming screenshots, came here to the Paradise Falls. The name of the location is where the this scene has been captured from is Paradise Falls. So the main character comes to that place with the help of a floating house. So on seeing him, the villain of this movie tells him that you came here in that. So how to use this sentence in your daily life? Suppose that you are waiting for your friend, and your friend come in a car, and that car is suppose that car is Mercedes, and you are not expecting that your friend would come in that expensive car, because he is a kind of a poor guy. So you can say that you came here in that, means you came in that Mercedes. How is it even possible? How can you carry a Mercedes? In the next screenshot, you can say in a house, a floating house. Floating house means a flying house. You know, a flying house. A house can also be called a floating house. Then he says that is the darndest thing I have ever seen. So darndest typically means strangest, you can say, kind of strangest. So on encountering a floating house, the villain says that's the darndest thing I have ever seen. So here you can see that I have has been contracted to I've. I have has been contracted to I've. So this is a contracted form and this is a expanded form. Along with the difference in writing, the difference lies in the pronunciation too. It's I've, and this is I have. So that's the difference. You are not after my bird, are you? Suppose that you need to say someone that suppose that someone is after your brother. Someone is following your brother due to some reason. Maybe your brother might have taken some money from that person, or else. So you can say that You are after my brother, are you? The next screenshot, here it says, hope they weren't too rough on you. So to be rough on someone means to be strict, to be tough on someone. That means to behave strictly to someone. Suppose that you often behave so strictly to your children. So you can say, I am often, I am often tough on my children. Maybe you are kind of a very strict person and you often scold your children on their every mistakes. So you can say that you can say that I am often tough on my children. You can say I am rough on my children, or you can say I am hard on my children. Looks like the color of the ink is shining too much, so let me change the color of the text here. Blue will be good. Okay, the next screenshot says, once in there is no way out. Suppose that there is a house or there is a cave. Suppose that there is a cave and by chance you happen to enter the cave and you come across some kind of strange creatures there. And as soon as you try to escape from there, the creature says you that once you have entered that location, there is no way out. You cannot escape from there. So that's the use of this phrase, there is no way out. Get away from me. Okay, there's nothing that I can teach you. Get away means just get away. We are not going with you, we are not going to the falls. So here you can see that this old man says to this dog that we are not going with you. So here the sentence has been used in the present continuous tense. Present continuous tense. Even if the old man wants to emphasize his future planning that we will not go with you, but still he uses the present continuous tense. So sometimes in place of future continuous tense, we can use present continuous tense when the action is already planned. Here he has made plan, he has made up his mind, made up his mind. He has already made up his mind that in no condition will he agree to go with this dog. So whenever something is already planned, then you can use present continuous tense in place of simple future tense. Let me give you some other example to make you understand the same concept. Suppose that next week you are planning to go to London. So you can, in place of I will go to London next week, I will go to London next week, you can also say I am going to London next week. So why have I used present continuous tense in place of simple future tense here? Is the simple future tense wrong? Is the correct? Is the sentence written in the simple future tense wrong? No, the sentence is absolutely correct. But the second one is also correct. And which is more preferable here? Which sentence is more preferred here? The second one, because the idea of going to London is already decided, is already planned. So whenever the task is already planned or the decision is already made, then you should choose present continuous tense over simple future tense. So that's what I had to explain to you. Hope they weren't too rough on you. So I have already mentioned you the use of this rough on phrase. To be rough on someone means to be hard on someone, means to be strict with someone. Having guest is a delight. Suppose that you were sitting idle in your home and suddenly someone comes to visit you. And if the person says that, have I bothered you? Have I bothered you by coming here? So you can say, no, having guests is a delight. Having guests is a fortunate thing, you type of, you can say. Oh, my Ellie would have loved all this. So here in this movie, in this amazing movie that is up, the main character is this old man, and the old man and his demised demised wife, means his wife is already his wife is dead. So both he and his wife had a dream to visit Paradise Falls, but unfortunately his wife has died, and he is the only person who made it to the paradise falls. So here, after coming to this place, he meets his you can say a role model. You can say this guy is a role model for him. So he says that Eli would have loved all this because he and his wife both had a dream to visit paradise falls and meet this guy, but unfortunately his wife is dead now. So that's why he says Ili would have loved all this. So what I mean to explain you here is that would have is used for imaginary or hypothetical situations. This is a hypothetical sentence. That's because his wife is not alive now, and she will never love to visit here because she has already died. So that's why he is using using the phrase would have in this sentence. It's because of you she had his dream. The next screenshot says to come down here and live by Paradise Falls. To live by somewhere means to live very near to somewhere. By Paradise Falls means down here, and live by Paradise Falls simply means live near Paradise Falls. Okay, I'm honored and you have made it. So look, make it has two very important meanings in English, spoken English, and that is, the first meaning of make it is to be successful, to reach somewhere. Suppose that you wish to go to London and uh, you finally succeeded in going there, so you can say I made it. The second meaning for make it is to be successful in achieving something. So, as usual, as you know that make is the V1 form, and V2 form for make is made, and the third form V3 is also made. So, if you are using make it the whole phrase as a verb, then the same rule applies here. The V1 form will be make it, V2 made it, and V3 also made it. So, what's this? You can say that make is a verb, and when it is used along with make, then this becomes a prepositional phrase. Means a phrase that is using that has been used as a verb. You're sure we are not a bother, I would hate to impose. So once this old man visited here to the paradise falls, then he says to this person that, are you sure? I sure we are not a bother. Means as soon as he reached here, he finds himself that he is causing some trouble to this guy. So he says, are you sure we are not a bother? Then he says, it's a pleasure to have guests. So he simply says, no, I am not, you are not a bother to me. It's a pleasure to have guests. Having guest is a delight. Another sentence you can say in place of this sentence is, having guest or having guests is a delight, or simply having guests is a fortunate thing. Here you can say, you can see, calm down, calm down. So what's the meaning of calm down? To be calm down means to be relaxed, to be quiet. Suppose that someone is very excited, someone is shouting out of excitedness, or someone is shouting out of fear or any kind of emotions. So you, if you want to, if you wish to keep him, if you wish him to, if you want him to be quiet, then you can say that calm down, calm down. Here you can say quiet, quiet. So several people get confused in the two three words that look similar to quiet. The second word is quit, quit, and quit, quiet. So all these three words look similar, but there is a very very big difference between these three words. Quit, quiet means to uh, to be to shut, or to be quiet. To be quiet means to close your mouth simply. Close your mouth. Quit means to stop doing something, to stop doing something. And quiet means pretty. For example, it's quite hot out here. Suppose that you are out somewhere walking, and suppose that the day is a sunny day. The day is a sunny day and it's quite hot there. Then you can say it's quite hot out here, or it's pretty hot out here. I shouldn't have used that word. Shouldn't have. First of all, this shouldn't have is the contracted form for should not. This shouldn't is the contracted form for shouldn't. And I have already taught you that whenever n comes after t, then the t is also pronounced as n. So here the word should becomes shun. So this is a very helpful trick that the native speakers use. They tend to cut and they tend to mend the words so that the pronunciation completely changes and it becomes little bit tough for us to understand what they are saying. So what is the use of this phrase shouldn't have? Suppose that you did something that you are regretting, that you should not have done that. So in that sense you can use shouldn't have. For example, suppose that I broke my phone, and if I wish to say I should not have broken my phone because 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 I can't buy one. I can't buy one simply because I don't have so much money, and I cannot buy a new phone. So I should not have broken that phone. I should not have done that. Means something, some action or some mistake that you did in your past and you are regretting for the same right now. Now, having guessed is a delight. I have already taught this phrase sentence to you. More often I get thieves come to steal what's rightfully mine. To rightfully mine's what is the meaning of rightfully mine? So suppose that you have a car that you have bought or your father has gifted to you, then you can say that the car is rightfully mine. So something that is yours and fully yours is rightfully yours. They called me a fraud. They called me a fraud. But once I bring back this creature, my name will be cleared. So there is nothing that I can teach you here. So that's why I'm skipping the screenshots. Now here, beautiful, isn't it? So you can say, isn't it? What is the meaning? So it, first of all, it is the contracted form for is not it. It is the contracted form for is not it. Now, if you write it in its contracted form, isn't it, then you can see that here t comes just after n. So I've already taught you that whenever in spoken English t comes right after n, then the t also becomes, or t is also pronounced as n. So this isn't it becomes isn't isn't it. Now let me show you some examples to make you understand the same thing more clearly. And the example words are, first one, international. Native speakers native speakers rarely say international. They often say international. Why? Because t comes just after n, so becomes t becomes n and it's inner national. Similarly, interesting becomes interesting, and wanted becomes wanted. So this is how the native speakers use the trick to cut, mend, and form completely new sounding words. And that's the reason we don't understand their pronunciations as easily as we understand the pronunciations of those speakers who are Indians. Now the next screenshot is, I've spent a lifetime tracking it. So sometimes years go by between settings. So here there is something that's quite interesting and I should teach you. Here you can see go by. Now go by completely together form a verb. Why? Because go is a verb and by is a preposition, and whenever verb combines with preposition and act as a verb, then they are referred to as prepositional prepositional phrase. So let me make you understand this concept with the help of examples. Suppose that uh, you say I wear a I wear a shirt. You can say the same expression in somewhat different way. You can say I put on a shirt. So what's the difference? In place of wear, you're using put on. So wear is a verb and the synonym for wear is put on. But in you can say put is a verb itself and on is a preposition, but together they form a verb and that verb is a prepositional phrase or prepositional verb. So similarly, go is a verb and by is a preposition and go by together form prepositional verb phrase. So go by means pass by. Go by means pass by. Where to use this phrase? Uh, Suppose that you you noticed that Friday was just 2 days ago, but actually it's nearly a week. So you can say how fast the time crosses, how fast the time escapes. So in that place you can say time goes by so quickly. Suppose that you faced some type you suppose that you experienced an event, you experienced some event and it has already been 5 years of that event, but it looks like it's only 1 year or 2 year. So in that place you can say time goes by or time goes by so quickly, time goes by so quickly. That's what I wanted to explain it to you. Now the next screenshot says once in there is no way out. This has already been taught to you. Now we don't want to take advantage of your hospitality. So what's the meaning of hospitality? So this word hospitality has been somehow derived from the word host. So suppose that this is a house and you are sitting idle in your house and suddenly someone comes to visit you. Suppose your cousin comes to visit you, a distant cousin, not a close one, a distant cousin comes to visit you, and suppose that he says to you that am I bothering you by coming here? So you can say that no, having guest is a delight, first thing. Now the second thing that I want to explain to you is that here you who is sitting or staying idle in your home is a host, and that person who came to visit you is a guest. So the process of, so if you are a host and you serve this guest, you give some snacks to this guest, then you are simply doing hospitality, you are showing hospitality to that person. So that's the meaning of hospitality. Now desert, here the word desert is a desert means the sweets that are taken after the meal, sweets taken after the meal is called dessert. Used to come sweet to all my sweet lodge meetings. Suppose that you need to express some habitual action of your past, then you have three expressions to express that thing. The first one is used to, the second one is would, and the third one is the simple past tense. Simple past tense. So suppose that when you were a child, you used to uh, play football. So you can say this in three ways. You can say the first way is using used to. You can say when I was a child, when I was a child, I used to play football. The second way or the second method to say the same thing is when I was a child, when I was a child, I would I would play football. So far so good. And the very third way to say the same thing, to express the same thing, is using the simple past tense. And how can we use the simple past tense to express the same thing? We can say, when I was a child, when I was a child, comma, I played football. But one thing that you need to keep in your mind is that if you skip this portion, when I was a child, then you are free to use the remaining part in only two sentences. The first sentence, I used to play football. If you are saying I used to play football, this part of the sentence is absolutely correct. There is no mistake in this sentence. Even when you are saying I would play cricket, that sentence is also correct. But if you simply say I played football, then that sentence would not be correct. That sentence would be correct, but it would not be meaningful, because this will not show your habitual action. This will show your past action only. This will not show your habitual action. So in order to show your habitual action in the past by using simple past tense, you need to give some past reference point. For example, here the reference point is when I was a child. So when you are using when I was a child, then you are free to use the simple past tense to show your habitual action in the past. That becomes compulsory, that becomes necessary to express your habitual action in the past. But in case of used to and would, you are free to use used to and would independently. There is no need for a reference point in the past to use used to and would to show past habitual actions. So that's all for today. We'll meet again in our next video, and try to learn English in this same interesting way. So that's all for today. Thank you.